This podcast contains profanity and explicit material from the outset,
which may not be suitable for children or sensitive adults.
The views expressed are made in humour and are not designed to offend.
Now sit back and enjoy.
Okay, right. Unique New York. Right, okay. Good evening, people. Tonight, my what? there's only two of us. There's only two of us. Good evening, people. This is the intro. We're not reviewing. This is it now. We started. This is what you're keeping this in.
Yeah.
It's me and Dave. For some reason, we have hit the giggles. There's no reason why. We've just hit the giggles. We're back after a while. We won't sing the Stain. We won't sing the Stain song because we've sang it lots of times before.
Lots.
Yeah, but it has been a considerable duration since our last release, and unfortunately, we do not have a Gooseman tonight because he has to make IRL money since we don't make any internet money, and it turns out our OnlyFans page selling pictures of our feet didn't go too well.
No. I have to start showing pictures of something else soon. But other than that,
yeah. So yeah, we've got to branch out. So, but anyway, we are here tonight with an episode that we have aptly named. And when I say aptly, it means I thought of it while I was taking a shit. We're calling it the Flesh Special or the Fleshal. Dave, how have you been?
Yeah, not too bad, man. It's been I'm not going to say the other word, but it's been interesting. Like, as in, I finished I've just probably the last 4, 5, 6 months since we did our last episode of finished university. I finished college, so I've got the little bit of extra qualifications under my belt. All nerdy shit. Other than that, that's what I was doing, staring at my computer for 6 months.
Hacker man.
I can either confirm or deny whether I'm a hacker man now, but yes, I am.
And I have spent the last 5 or 6 months not doing anything productive.
Yeah, in
general.
But obviously,
oh no, I laid a lawn.
You did lay a lawn.
I did. I laid 2 lawn. No, don't. Gentlemen never tell.
Indeed.
Yes. So recently, I've been having a little bit of trouble sleeping. So I went to see my GP, and was given some assistance medically. With said sleeping, and last night was the first night I thought I'll give the sleeping tablets a try and see how it went.
Yeah.
Now the doctor never told me said too much. He said take one, calm down at night. You try and just let it take effect, and you hopefully won't feel too groggy in the morning. But the pharmacist says, just be careful with these ones, particularly if you drink alcohol with them, you'll have some mad side effects. I didn't drink alcohol with them last night, just to clarify.
Good call.
However, for some reason, I thought I was dreaming, and I woke up, and we slept with the blind open to let the wind in because it was nice and windy last night. And in my mind and in my eyes, I could see a black dog standing in the front garden. To the point where I woke up Chloe. I woke Claire up, and I was shouting, "There's a fucking dog in the garden!" And she's looking outside, going, "What the fuck are you talking about, you imbecile?" So then I got up in my jocks. And then my knees nearly collapsed because I was still full of sleeping tablet.
Yep.
And I went to the front door and switched the light on and tried to go find this black dog that wasn't in the garden.
Oh my God.
So the lady did say they can make you sleepwalk. So some people have reported sleepwalking, night terrors. And for some reason, she just said one person or something, people get up and make food in the middle of the night. Now I'm just saying I'm not against midnight snacks.
No, for sure.
I'm not against Claire, midnight snacks. Yeah, see, Claire's not against that either. What was that? Claire suggested I double the dose just so I can make some midnight snacks.
you'll probably run back fucking towards my house at 3:00 in the morning. There's a black dog following me.
Oh no, right. Okay, sorry. I misheard that because I got my ears in. She said I took double the dose to what the doctor recommended. The doctor recommended taking half of one, but they're so small. Like, you know, you break one and it just all crumbles in your hand. So I just
overdosed on sleeping tablets and believed
well,
there's a dog in front garden.
No, not overdosed exactly, because the intention was not to the intention was to sleep. Yeah. But anyway, like it's not. She gave me like, take one if you're not sleeping. You know, obviously then take more than, don't take all 10 because it'll be the last sleep you ever have. But
yeah,
you know, but yeah. So I saw a dog in the garden, and I was adamant. Hold on, Claire. What time do you reckon this was? It was probably about 2 a.m. Okay, right. This hot off the press. Class saying I didn't actually say anything. I sat up and pointed out the window. Now, I have been known to have night terrors prior to all of this before. Like sometimes, like, what have I done before? I've sat up and stuff, haven't I? And said things. Yeah. I've spoken a lot of gibberish, but that's nothing new.
No.
But yeah, but the thing is, like, Claire thought I was dreaming, like having one of my night episodes.
Yeah.
But I was awake. Like, I was fucking adamant I could see this dog in the garden, and I could even go out and point now where I saw it and tell you what way its head was facing. But it turns out there wasn't a dog.
Wow.
And I was, yeah. So that was interesting.
Did you take ayahuasca or something? Did you just get DMT'd and fucking have a bit of a trip for 4 or 5 hours?
I don't even know what is it? I don't know, but I had to write sleepy on the box so I don't get it mixed up with a different type of medication I've got as well. So.
And
because I don't want to be taking
laxative.
Yeah, no, vitamins, sleepy tablets. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a box of Bill Cosby's. That's what I was given.
A box of Bill. Hey.
Hey. Zip and a zip. Watch out for the dog in the garden. You see the dog. Anyway.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
So yeah. Cool. So yeah. Probably won't take one tonight. Just
no.
It was
at least take half.
Yeah.
We
want to hear what. Yeah.
If
the listeners want to hear what happened to the dog, then let us know, and we can go again, and I'll make some notes next time.
Dearest diary, I saw
Dearest
half the
diary. Dog. The dog was in the garden again. It was 3 a.m. I got punched in the throat. But it was weird too, because like, my knees kind of didn't work. Like, I stood up and my knees went all wobbly, but not all my legs, just my knees. It was like, I don't know if these sleeping tablets like might send your knees to sleep to stop you from. Well, I just don't know how it can stop you from sleepwalking, because she said if you drink on them, you'll sleepwalk. So maybe I don't know. But anyway,
that's weird.
Maybe they target your knees to help you sleep. But I don't know. But it was felt really weird. So I'm kind of like. Wobbly knee walking to the front door, adamant there's a dog in the garden, even though we've got a sensor in the front garden as well. Yeah, that'll go off if there's something there, because like it picks up rabbits and stuff. So yeah. apart from that, I've been pretty good. Apart from the 6-foot Jew guy that was in our shed the other day.
Yeah. For those people in overseas, a Dugite is a poisonous snake here in Western Australia, and a 6-foot one is long, 1.8 meters. I think
you'll find the actual term is venomous, not poisonous.
A furry.
I'm just saying.
Follow this clue.
Totally follow my clue. We had a local reptile guy come out and get it, and he rehomed it. He took it back to where it should be, and it should not be in my shed.
Back of the shed with a hammer.
No. We saw the video. He did release it. Back to the wild. So he was saying that the size of it's likely about 5 or 6 years old, and it's most probably female, given the size as well, because they last longer than the males.
No, did it look at you up and down, going when it took you out of the house?
Well, see, I thought it was like not as big as it was, because I only saw like maybe 20 centimeters of the tail initially, and then its little head under the fence. So I was like, oh, it's just a small one. And then the guy gets here and goes, oh, okay. And then he fishes it out of where it was. And then it fucking like got itself into the pool shed and then got out the pool shed and started going up the path. And he ran out chasing it. And I was like, holy fuck.
Damn.
So yeah, it was a big boy.
It was a big boy.
Yeah, it was a big boy. So yes, the snake man rehomed it to another place.
Excellent.
Which is good.
Excellent.
So, but apart from that, I've been fine.
Good. No,
We made it through Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, let's say it's obviously just after, obviously for those playing Three Little Pigs, those playing Three Little Pigs podcast bingo at home. It's the 11th of January. So we were recording this today, and it's just after Christmas and New Year, and we're not without a hitch. Obviously, we're still in Western Australia, where it's a country into itself, so we don't really allowed anyone in or anyone out until the mass plague flood on the 5th of February, where everything gets opened.
And now the floodgates were open. Was that Skrillex?
Yes.
Did he not have a? Yeah, that was Skrillex, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're all gonna. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
We're gonna die.
Nah,
that'll be fine. We're all triple. But I do remember when we first talked about this COVID cold, or this little bit of a flu, or
yeah, that was funny.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
It's a bit oopsie.
Yeah.
Go and follow one of the old episodes where we literally said it's a cold. We'll be over and done with shortly. Thanks very much, guys. And now the whole world's imploding. So we'll take that. I'm just glad we never followed any conspiracy theories. Like, I don't get me wrong, I like hearing about conspiracy theories, but I still think you're a bit foolish to think it's all a conspiracy theory. Yeah, there's no Bill Gates is not sticking the latest Windows in my arm or anything like that. So ding 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 ding. Yeah.
And I was just going to say, like, you know, if I have getting a chip put in me, I would happily have 5G download speeds all the time.
Oh, for sure, man.
Absolutely. Like, who does not want faster download speeds?
Yeah, that's fast porn update. If you're literally really going for, it's good. Yeah,
I mean, I was talking about gaming and watching Netflix, not what you said.
Fucking lies.
I know nothing of that nature.
You're a liar, Jamie. A damn liar.
No, I'm not. I'm a realist.
Indeed. Right.
Now, how do you want to start this? Because because my bit's technically like after they're dead.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. How does it slot in? Hold on. How does it slot in? Because you've got like. So do you want to go first? Do you want to go?
I'll go first.
I'll go at the end. We'll do it backwards since we're on the flesh show.
All right.
Flesh show.
Right.
Gather your plums.
Gather your plums, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get like we talk about this before, but if you listen to the last podcast on the left, this is going to be a gold star episode. There is going to be some things here. If you're triggered by death or triggered by people enjoying other people's company, then this keep listening, because it'll get a bit feral very shortly. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. On tonight's menu, we bring you a tasty platter from around the globe in the form of the other white meat, humans. And although all throughout history, the human race has been exposed to the consumption of their fellow man, from times of famine during World War II to modern serial killer cannibals. And tonight we are going to deep dive into the ultimate taboo and hopefully come out the other side with our bellies full of tasty tidbits of information. So, time to sit back and enjoy. Cannibalism is the act or practice of humans eating the flesh or internal organs of other human beings. A person who practices cannibalism is called a cannibal. The meaning of
vegetarian.
The vegetarian. The meaning of cannibalism has been used to describe an individual of a species consuming all or part of another individual of the same species as food, including sexual cannibalism.
Bow, bow, bow. Boo, boo, boo. Let's make love tonight.
And I'm gonna eat you.
When I get that feeling, I want sexual tacos. Oh, that was better. That was sexual eating was better. Damn it, you got it. Damn it. I couldn't think. I was like singing on the spot. I was trying to like freestyle. Yours was better.
Sexual
Okay, sorry.
eating.
Sexual eating.
Sexual eating, yeah.
Let's eat you tonight. Do, 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 do.
Hey, baby.
Baby. Oh, we always break into a song. Sorry.
All right. I do apologize for the small children yelling in the background. That's my children.
That's Dave's dinner.
That's my dinner.
That's
Okay.
my dinner. I ate a baby.
A form of cannibalism popular in modern Europe was a consumption of body parts or blood for medical purposes. Now, we covered this off in the Black Plague episode as well, where they ate.
Yeah,
parts of people.
what's this? What's this? Your knees are haunted. Have this cocaine and people blood.
People, yeah, wipe the testicles of this gentleman across your forehead 3 nights at night.
Yes.
This practice was.
Have you tried wiping a dead lamb on the door? No, you should try that. Go back. Let me know how you go.
Your blood's haunted. This practice was at its height during the 17th century, and although as late as the second half of the 19th century, some peasants attending execution are recorded to have rushed forward and scraped the ground with their hands that they might collect some of the bloody earth, which was subsequently crammed in their mouth in hope they might just get rid of their disease. So execution, it's fucking weird.
I tell you what, like fucking logic back in the day wasn't all there, was it?
Not at all.
This man is dead. This blood is all covered in mud. I may eat that, and maybe it'll get rid of my untimely dying disease that I currently have.
I'm 30. I'm 34. I'll be dead by 35. If I shove this dead man's.
It's more like I'm 18. They're about to kill me because of old age. It can't get any worse.
Eat bloody dirt.
Yes. Or eat dirty blood. One of the two. Sorry.
Now, some of the reasons for cannibalism or eating of the other person. In some societies, cannibalism is a cultural norm, and the consumption of a person from within the same community is called endo-cannibalism. Ritual cannibalism of the recently deceased can be part of the grieving process. Oh, Nana, I'm going to cut you up.
Oh dear. Oh, my God. I can't believe Uncle Toby, he is dead, but also so tasty.
This tastes amazing. Or be seen as a way of guiding the souls of the dead into the bodies of living descendants. He's got a spirit in him of his great Uncle Toby.
It's a spooky ghost.
It's a spooky ghost. Exo-cannibalism is the consumption of a person from outside the community, usually as a celebration of a victory against a rival tribe. Like the Maoris I'll cover this off later, but the Maoris in New Zealand, they would eat the heart of other people to get their mana or their like spiritual, talk about mana when you play video games, the same thing. It's like spiritual power. Spiritual power. They take it.
And don't they do that in PNG as well?
Yep. They still do it now.
And what when I was telling Claire what this was about tonight, she brought up, remember the island that we talked about where that American guy went to try and bring them Jesus, and they just ate that guy.
Yeah, they just bought him salt and pepper in a large pot. Yeah.
That guy coming on a boat? Yeah, we got to eat him. Yeah, okay. I honestly can't remember their name. I know they might not be listening, but so I do apologize.
Wasn't it like it was some sort of Melanesia type country as well?
Yeah. Anyway,
both types of cannibalism can also be fueled by the belief that eating a person's flesh or internal organs will endow the cannibal with some sort of characteristics of the deceased. They leveled up.
You'd be pissed off if he was really, really tall, but all you inherited was the fact that he was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, exactly right. The worst level up in the world.
I ate this guy expecting to get tall, and now I've just become a dickhead. To work like that, I don't know. Even more than normal.
He's like his grandfather. Why? I think he ate most of them, but
he's a pain in the ass.
He's got his eyes in his mouth.
Actually, on that, when you just said it's like his grandma, just reminded me of a funny Scottish tweet that I read one time, whether it's true or not. But the guy said, I went round to my gran and granddad's the other day, and I walked into the door, and my granddad said, "Oh fuck, it's cold out there, sonny." I said, "Oh, aye, granddad, tell me something I don't know." And he went, "All right, I can stick my whole hand up your grand's ass."
Grandma puppets.
Sorry. We can cut that bit. Anyway.
In most parts of the world, cannibalism is not a societal norm, really, but also it's sometimes resorted to in situations of extreme necessity. My God, I'm hungry. The survivors of the shipwrecks of the ships Essex and Medusa in the 19th century are said to have engaged in cannibalism, as did the members of Franklin's Lost Expedition and the Donner Party. These are all things we can go into. Yeah.
Donner Party is a very, very interesting story, and inspirational people from last podcast on the left do a exquisite a couple of episodes on that. Yep. I think that's one of the first big ones I listened to. The Donner Party is a fantastic story if you're into this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's messed up, eh? It's messed up.
Do you know, it reminds me of like you played Red Dead Redemption 2?
No, but I've seen it.
Oh, it reminds me of the start of Red Dead Redemption 2 because they're in like a snowy area trying to get out of the snowy area. So yeah, it's very much like that. But yeah, sorry, Donner Party, very, very good.
Such cases, as I've just mentioned, generally involved cannibalism, which is eating the corpse of someone who's already dead. So if you think about like the South American football team, soccer team that landed in the mountains and they ate each other when they died.
Oh yeah, that was to survive as well. There wasn't.
Yeah. So that's that's called cannibalism, which is after they're dead, as opposed to homicidal cannibalism, which is eating someone for food. And in English law, the latter is always considered a crime, even in the most trying circumstances. In the case of this is a criminal case of RV, or this is Regina versus Dudley and Stevens, in which two men were found guilty of killing and eating a cabin boy, tasty cabin boy, while adrift at sea in a lifeboat, set the precedent that there's necessity. There's basically no defense to the charge of murder if you eat someone. So So if he had died and then they ate him, that's fine. But if he had died because of them, then that's not fine. That's bad juju.
That's bad juju.
Right. And now some myths, legends, and folklore in relation to cannibalism. Now, cannibalism features in the folklore and legends of many cultures and is also attributed to evil characters or as an extreme retribution for some wrongdoing. For example, the witch in Hansel and Gretel, which is obviously tries to fatten you up, boy, by putting Hansel in the cage. The Lamia of Greek mythology and Baba Yaga of the Slavic folklore, not to be confused with John Wick.
I didn't realize Baba Yaga was a cannibal thing.
Yeah, she ate children. She eats children, because I was going to do a thing on Baba Yaga instead of this one, so I'll do that next time, I think. And a number of stories in Greek mythology involve cannibalism, particularly cannibalism of close family members. The stories of Thyestes and Teres, and especially Kronos, who was Saturn in the Roman pantheon. Basically, they ate their children and held them in a mouth. So it's the cannibalism part. Okay, a quick history of cannibals. It was practiced by humans in prehistoric Europe, Mesoamerica, South America, the Iroquoian peoples of North America, the Maori in New Zealand, the Solomon Islands, parts of West Africa and Central Africa, some of the islands of Polynesia, New Guinea, Sumatra, and the Fiji. Evidence of cannibalism has been found in ruins associated with the ancestral Paloban peoples of the Southwest United States. So it's literally everywhere. So everywhere has had cannibals. No matter where you are, they've eaten people. And
I like on your notes it says, as well as Cowboy Wash in Colorado.
Cowboy Wash.
That sounds like a nice place to go. I mean, it probably isn't. No, it sounds like it.
The asshole of Colorado.
Dear.
There's evidence, both archaeological and genetic, that cannibalism has been practiced for hundreds of thousands of years by early Homo sapiens and archaic humans. And there has been evidence that human bones have been defleshed by other humans going back 600,000 years.
We've been at it for a while.
Yes, 100%.
We have been at it for a while.
And there's consideration for back then. It would have been a means of predator control, as well as eliminating to eliminate predators, so they wouldn't come in and if a dead body occurred. There's obviously getting scavengers out, stuff like that. So, proposed.
In modern society, it doesn't I say in a modern Western society, obviously it's one of these things that it's like, well, fucking like Jesus Christ. But if you're looking at, prehistoric, they don't have technology of running water, then that kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly right. So
like animals do it, dogs do it, cats would do it, so
and obviously when you think about it, like isn't the normal burial, like which we'll talk about a wee bit later on, but normal burial when it comes to humans, that's not like burying people in the ground. The reason for that was to stop people from getting eaten. For one part of it, it's like from birds and shit coming around and spreading disease. So back then they didn't have anything or didn't know to bury people in the ground, so they just eat them to clean up the mess, pretty much. So
it's actually quite a logical thing. And I do believe if you look at there's a YouTube video on ants, believe it or not, where it talks about the I don't know what you call it, the biome of an ant nest, and they're very humanic, I guess, in the way they deal with things and the levels of their biome and how they live, and they put the waste down the bottom, and if an ant is injured, then they will kill it and eat it if it's fresh, and if it's not fresh, they will put it down the bottom and get it away from the nest. So it's similar to that in the sense of it's just it kind of relates, I guess, more back to human survival instinct than anything else. It's nothing to do with that's Dave, we shouldn't eat Dave because he was cool, or we need to get rid of this because this is going to cause us issues, or we have no food. That is now a food.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
So, I get it. Historically, I get it. Modern day Western society, not so much.
Yeah, don't eat people. But we'll cover off that very shortly because there's some recent ones where people have been eating people for weird, and that's just messed up shit. All right. So a brief time in Europe, it was an unusual form of cannibalism that occurred when thousands of Egyptian mummies preserved in bitumen were ground up and sold as medicine. The practice developed into a wide-scale business which flourished until the late 16th century. This fad, open and close quotation marks, ended because the mummies revealed to actually be recently killed slaves. So they weren't like, 2 centuries ago, mummies were still believed to have medicinal properties against bleeding and were sold as pharmaceuticals in powdered form. Yummy human mummy confectionery. Yum, 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 yum. Lots of stories of societies.
Oh, wait. So hold on. So it says they were sold as pharmaceuticals in powdered form. My leg hurts. Might need to snort half a gran.
Fuck you, Jim.
Get it?
Fuck you.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's funny.
That was good. Half a grand.
Yeah, half a grand. Get it? Half a grand. Not gram. It's kind of a drugs jokes, but it's not. But because it's also a grand.
Because she's a mummy.
It's mummy's mummy. Anyway,
Mummy's
yeah. We shouldn't have to explain the joke to you.
No, we shouldn't.
And I don't mean you, Dave. I mean the listeners.
Oh yeah, indeed. Yeah, half a grand. Lots of stories of societies resorting to cannibalism as a way of justifying the colonization of the country. However, there were several well-documented cultures that engaged in regular eating of the dead, such as New Zealand, where I come from, is Maori. Obviously not recent times because we don't have a lot of wars with the colonists these days, but it's more shouting over Facebook.
The French seem to have backed off.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sorry.
The very first encounter between Europeans and Maori may have involved in cannibalism. A Dutch sailor. Oh, hello there. What's going on? Are you going to eat me? That's great. In June 1772.
Hey, you guys, I like your skirt.
Yeah, I like. What's going on? Looks like a crepe. Smoking a pancake.
Hey, it looks really nice here. It's not so cold. It's where I'm from.
Yeah, don't eat me, please. In June 1772, the French explorer Marion de Fresne and 26 members of his crew were killed and eaten in the Bay of Islands, which is in the North Island, about halfway up through the middle.
Hey, we're gonna eat all the boys on this boat, eh?
Oh, good night, guys. We're gonna eat you, eh?
Well, if you just all take a seat, we'll be with you in a minute.
It takes a pretty long while to eat 26 of you, so please move along. Cannibalism was
sorry.
Go.
Oh, listen, did you guys want some water while we wait?
Oh, we're polite people. We're still going to fucking eat you. Cannibalism was already in place in the Maori Wars. So another incident was on July 18th, 1821. They did pretty well recording this. The Maoris from the Ngāpuhi tribe killed 2,000 enemies and remained on the battlefield, eating the vanquished until they were driven off by the smell of decaying bodies. That's like 3 days.
Wow.
Ugh.
Yeah, like that. Oh, boys, I think it's time to go. It fucking stinks, eh?
Yeah, we're out of here. This is fucking awful. This period of time was also rife with incidents of explorers and seafarers resorting to cannibalism for survival. One notorious cannibal was mountain man Boone Helm, who was known as the Kentucky Cannibal for eating several of his fellow travelers from 1850 until his eventual hanging in 1864. That's at 14 years with eating.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good. It's good. Now, in modern era, the further circumstances include cannibalism as a ritual practice, cannibalism in times of drought, famine, and other destitution, as well as criminal acts and war crimes throughout the 20th and 21st centuries. During World War II, especially during the 872-day siege of Leningrad, reports of cannibalism began to appear in the winter of 1941 to 42, after all the birds, rats, pets were eaten by survivors. The Leningrad police even formed a special division to combat cannibalism. It was known as the Tasty Victims Unit.
Dave, that joke's been made in poor taste. That was not bad. Actually, this is quite shocking. I didn't know there was an 872 day siege at Leningrad. That's quite substantial.
Yeah, that's a lot of
because
dead Russians.
Didn't that used to happen in ye olde times as well, where like that's how they'd have a siege. Like they just, well, we're the attackers. We've got heaps of food, so we just wait here until like you have to start eating each other, and then we win.
Yep.
Like there's probably like sieges from old Englishy times where there's like that's how they've won.
Yeah,
because they've had to
starving
eat each
them
other
out.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And fetchy levish and launching cows over the wall. Monty Python, you need to watch it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Right. Some 2.8 million Soviet prisoner of war died in Nazi custody in less than 8 months during 1941 to 42.
Fucking hell.
And apparently, according to the USHMM, I don't know what that is, military something, by 1941, starvation and disease resulted in the mass death of unimaginable proportions. So I guess I can assume that this desperate starvation led to many incidents of cannibalism, which would be definitely investigated by the Tasty Victims Unit. Okay, this is going a wee bit more modern now. In 2008, a British model called Anthony Morley was imprisoned for killing, dismemberment, and partial cannibalism of his lover and magazine executive Damien Oldfield. On the 2nd of May 2008, it was announced that Morley had been arrested for the murder of Oldfield, who worked for the gay lifestyle magazine Bent. And after inviting Oldfield to his Leeds flat, police believed that Morley killed him, removed a section of his leg, and began cooking it before he stumbled into a nearby kebab house at 2:30 in the morning, drenched his blood, and asking for someone to call the police. He's had a bad night out. And he was found guilty on the 17th of October 2008 and sentenced to life in prison for the crime. But you fucking imagine that. It's
Wow.
fucking,
I'm just actually Googling that just now. I don't remember any of this at all. But having said that, a man stumbling into a kebab house at 2:30 in the morning, drenched in blood, and asking someone to call the police probably isn't a rare occurrence, to be fair.
No.
You know, that's it. That's just regular, I guess.
But, you're going to buy a kebab? Get out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Germany.
we're going to Germany. Armin Malwies, a former computer repair technician, got to watch out for them, who achieved international notoriety for killing and eating a voluntary victim in 2001, he found on the internet. So after Malwies and the victim jointly attempted to eat the victim's severed penis, Malwies killed his victim and proceeded to eat a large amount of his flesh. So let's paint a picture for you. They've agreed to eat each other or eat the victim.
One of them. Yep.
Yeah, they've cut off the victim's John Thomas
Pee-pee.
and they've both sat down to eat it. And then he's gone, okay, you're time to kill me now. And they've sat down and ate him. So he was arrested.
Wow.
But it was voluntary. So this is the point. He was, I remember this trial when I was, obviously it's 2002 and 2004. But I remember he was like, I can't be murdered because he consented to me killing him.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's.
Have you ever watched the IT Crowd?
Yeah, well, parts of it, but not all of it.
I think there's an episode where Moss he signs up to meeting friends online, and he ends up meeting this German guy who wants to eat him. And I think this is what the piss take is from. I think they actually take the piss out of it from this.
I'm gonna have to go watch.
Because it's very similar. Because the guy's like, yeah, come round and we'll eat you and blah blah blah. And he thinks he's going round for dinner, but regular dinner, not like people dinner.
Not people dinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was arrested in December 2002, and in January 2004, he was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 8 years and 6 months for eating someone. But then in 2006, he decided to go for a retrial. In May 2006, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. If he'd kept his mouth shut, he would have been out in like 4 years.
Wow. He would have been eating again.
Yeah, Jesus. Exactly. Eating people again. And during the trial, he reported there's 800 active cannibals in Germany. That's.
Do you know what? Like, you know, when you think about this kind of thing, like, when you think about international crimes like this, like war crimes, human trafficking, offenses against children, in those kind of circles, there probably are fucking a lot more people than you think that are have either done it or are pretty keen to do it.
Yeah, exactly right.
You only need to go into that dark web.
Yeah.
You only need to get onto that hidden wiki and you'll find what you want.
It's messed up. Like, what you think about, even the video which we're going to talk about shortly with your topic, like, isn't realistic.
Yeah, that's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, and you're like,
that's just a YouTube.
It's messed up. Like, as in, I've watched some messed up shit in my time, but I was like, okay, this is going to be. It's the Spanish version of David Attenborough, but that was fine. It was. Next, we're off to sunny Russia, where cannibalism was widespread during the Holodomor, or the famine of Ukraine, in 1932 and 1933. Now, survival was a moral as well as physical struggle, and a woman doctor wrote to a friend in June 1933 that she had not yet become a cannibal, but was not sure if she shall not be done by one by the time this letter reaches you. The good people die first, and those who refused to steal or to prostitute themselves died, and those who gave food to others died. And those who refused to eat corpses died. And those who refused to kill their fellow man died. And
so who didn't die?
Not the doctors. So it's just the cannibals didn't die.
So the bad, stealing, prostituting, greedy cannibals who killed their friends, they were the ones that didn't die.
Yeah, so the murdering cannibal
prostitutes.
Greedy prostitute thieves are the ones that survived.
Yeah. That's quite a list.
That is quite a list. That's definitely going to be this with the worst survey in Russia. At least,
please take one of the following.
MIA. At least 2,500. It says 505. That's a random as shit stat. But at least 2,500 people were sentenced for cannibalism in the years of 1932 to 33 in the Ukraine, although the actual number of cases was certainly much higher. Now, I did a bit of extra super special research for this last part because I wanted to find out some weird shit about cannibalism over the since 1931. This one is here anyway. So this is the super special individual acts of cannibalism. Now, in the New York reporter, William Bueller Seabrook, in the interest of research, obtained from a hospital intern at the Sonburn a chunk of human meat from the body of a healthy human killed in an accident. He cooked it and ate it, and he reported it was good. It was like good, fully developed veal, not young, but not yet beef. It was definitely like that. It was not like any other meat I'd ever tasted. Of course, it's not. You fucking dickhead. It's human.
Yes, it's people.
It's people. Yes. And on July the 23rd, 1988, Rick Gibson ate the flesh of another person in public. But because England does not have a specific law against cannibalism, he ate a canapé of donated human tonsils on the high street in London.
Oh, okay.
Now I had my tonsils removed probably 20, also a long time ago now, and I had them in a jar beside my bed because I thought it would be cool. Those
they used to give you them, didn't they? They used to just give you things. Yeah, you can have this.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Here's your old liver. Oh, thank you. And a year later, on the 15th of April 1989, he publicly ate a slice of human testicle in the Lewisham High Street in London. And
a slice of testicle, not a whole testicle.
They probably just parboiled it. And
how does one acquire a slice of testicle? And not that's more confusing than a whole one.
And it's 1989. It's not like you had like the internet to.
Yeah, you could get anything back then. It was before the internet. It's fine.
Yeah. They just asked for it down the local butcher. Weddy tried to eat another slice of human testicle at the Pitt International Galleries in Vancouver on July 14th, 1989. The Vancouver police confiscated the testicle hors d'oeuvre.
I'm going to fly to Canada and eat this testicle. What? Why would you do? Where did he get? Is that the same testicle, or is this a different piece? And then why did he go to that place to eat it?
I don't know. I'll try and contact him on the internet and ask him.
Let's look at that. That's quite fascinating combination of things from one person, I think.
But then the next part is, however, the charge of publicly exhibiting a disgusting object. That's half the people around Western Australia publicly exhibiting a disgusting object. Was dropped. He finally ate the piece of human testicles. Was it the same piece or another third piece?
Yeah, I know this is what's confusing me.
On the steps.
And it was like 2 months later.
They wouldn't have kept. I guarantee you. It's going to have to be. It was like a testicle jerky or something. Is it like a?
Oh dear.
Yeah. The worst. He ate the third piece of the human testicle on the steps of the Vancouver courthouse on September 22, 1989. Now I could have covered a ton of serial killers have eaten their victims, but obviously the main one everyone talks about is Jeffrey Dahmer of Wisconsin. So in 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was arrested after one of his intended victims managed to escape. He was found in Dahmer's apartment with 2 human hearts, an entire torso, a bag full of human organs from his victims, and a portion of arm muscle. He stated he planned to consume all of the body parts over the next few weeks. So at least he wasn't wasting anything. But he was also trying to turn his victims, because he was a lonely man, he tried to turn one of his victims into a zombie by drilling a hole in his head and pouring acid in to try and kill his brain to become a zombie for him.
He was trying to... It's the epitome of trying to make friends.
Yeah, he did make friends and eat people. He would target homosexual men because he was a closet homosexual himself. He would target homosexual men in the Milwaukee districts, and I can't remember how many victims he had, but yes, it's good. So it said there was a number of serial killers of like Richard Chase used to drink the blood of his victims, etc. So it's definitely another topic you go into, and heaps of people have done all the serial killers, but I wanted to give you a bit of an overview of cannibalism as a whole. So just to finish up, as you've heard, there has been an extensive history of people eating people, from food shortages to eating testicles on courthouse steps. Whether from necessity or to live out a messed up fantasy, cannibalism has been part of the human psyche, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere fast. So it was, you could deep dive into a whole lot of different shit, as in with cannibalism, but it really is. It's been out forever. People did it to survive back in the days, and some weird people, especially the Germans, have done it and taken it to the next level. And a couple of weird guys eating testicles. I'm actually going to find out about that, whether it's the same testicle, because that's
that'd be interesting. And one of the things I was going to mention, especially when you talked about Russia, there's a couple of documentaries on a couple of prisons in Russia. One of them is called Black Dolphin, which is meant to be like the toughest prison in Russia, if not the world. Yeah. And there's another one, I can't remember the name of the prison, but it's out on the Trans-Siberian Railway. So it's literally in the middle of fucking nowhere, but nobody escapes. It's open because you escape, you'll die. But anyway, a lot of the guys in Black Dolphin are in there for cannibalism as well.
Oh. So
like it's a mix of like big war criminals, big organized crime criminals, and cannibals. Like a lot of people in but I think one is more than enough. But yeah, there's a number of people in prisons in Russia for cannibalism. So there you go.
So yeah, that was my little chat about cannibalism. So,
well, there we go. Tasty people.
Tasty people.
Tasty people. People tasty.
Apparently, it tastes like pork. Allegedly. Obviously, some guy said it was veal, a young veal. I guess that everyone's going to have their own special tastes.
Yeah, I guess so. Depending on your, well, it's like cows, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, cows from one area and cows from another area are going to taste different. They taste different depending on your diet and what you eat. Me and Dave are going to taste different because we have different body compositions.
I'll be the wagyu of the human. I'm human wagyu.
Oh, have you got a nice marble?
Oh, of course.
I have a nice marble these days.
I'm not here to fuck
I'm a large proportion of brisket. I would say these days. My drive to exercise over the last couple of months has been low. So I'm very much brisket right now.
You're all brisket.
All brisket. I would like to say pulled pork, but again, a gentleman doesn't tell.
No. Ooh, hello there.
Matron. Dave, that was good. The old cannibals. Fine young cannibals. Wow.
Indeed.
Okay. When you're ready.
Yeah, man. Fire away.
Go. Stand by. I must wet the palate. The palate is wet. And Dave, thank you for the tasty section on cannibalism that we just covered there.
No
Pardon
worries.
the pun. Pardon the pun. Obviously. No, I because Dave, you've had the cannibalism episode like drafted and good to go for a bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I was reading, because Dave sent me his notes. He said, I've read through these notes. So I had to read through the notes. And I was like, I remember seeing a thing kind of to do with this. And it's kind of cannibalism, but it's not cannibalism. So I remember watching a documentary many years ago on something which is known as a sky burial. Now, I've done a bit of research, and literally this is just a fucking lift from Wikipedia. So if you want to have a go at us, just go to Wikipedia and read this. If not, I'll read the vast majority of the page out to you. However, sky burial, it's pretty much a Tibetan tradition where you're buried in the sky. And this is what it is. So the sky burial, or the Tibetan word, I don't know how exactly you pronounce it. The English translation, I think it's Jhator, like Jator. Yeah, Jator. But it looks like the phonetic pronunciation is BYA and then space GTOR. So if it's like Beator or something like that. But anyway, it loosely translates to the word bird scattered. And there's a funeral practice in which a human corpse is placed on a mountaintop to decompose while exposed to the elements, or to be eaten by scavenging animals, especially carrion birds. It is a specific type of the general practice of excarnation, and it is practiced in the Chinese provinces and autonomous regions of Tibet. Excuse the pronunciation. Qinghai, Sichuan, and Inner Mongolia, and as well as in Mongolia. You got Bhutan and parts of India, such as Sikkim and Zanskar. Never heard of them. Nope. So I do apologize on the pronunciation.
Don't know the bloke, yeah.
Yeah, never met the guy. So the locations of preparation and sky burial are understood in specific Buddhist traditions as carnal grounds. Comparable practices are part of the Zoroastrian burial practices, where deceased are exposed to the elements and the birds of prey on stone structures called dakma. Now, few such places remain operational today due to religious marginalization, urbanization, and the decimation of the vulture populations. Oh, that's actually quite interesting. They can't do it anymore.
Save the sky burials.
Yeah, we can't do sky burials because there's not enough birds. Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad for the birds, but yeah.
Pigeons or robins would take a hell of a lot of time.
I tell you what, I've got chooks, right? And we've got this, the previous owners of this house installed a automatic chicken door, like a chook gate. It's cool as fuck. Like, it's a little battery powered motor that at 5:30 in the morning, the motor kicks in and the wee door lifts up and the chickens can go to the outside area. And then at 7:45, it closes to stop predators coming in because the chickens put themselves to bed when it's dark. They're actually quite funny animals. But anyway, I was trying to fix the fucking battery thing on this thing, right?
Yeah.
And the chickens just kept pecking my stomach and my feet. And they like toes. Like if you got fongs in the chook pen, they'll start pecking your fucking toes. But they don't give a fuck. Like if I died in there, they just eat me.
Yeah, of course.
Like yeah. But I think it would take a lot of chickens to eat a human body.
Yeah, there's an experiment I want to see.
Yeah, probably not. I haven't got to practice it, but yeah, I do know that it only takes 3 chooks one afternoon to eat a quarter of a watermelon. So that's our control sample. that's the control sample. How do we get a human body to the same water content level of a watermelon? Because that's how long it would take. Yeah.
Hold on. Watermelon.
What is it? How to get people to the water content of a watermelon?
Water percentage. Hold on.
Are we not like 72? We're 72, aren't we? Like
I reckon we could do it. So watermelon is approximately 92% water according to Healthline.
And 8% melon.
Yeah, 8% melon. So human body water percentage. Hold on.
72.
It's up to 60. But obviously it's in total, but obviously the brain and heart is 73. I reckon if we drown a bloke.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you get it all wet, like if you get it would you like soak it for a bit? And then get it to the same water content as a watermelon, and then feed it to 3 chickens.
It'll be gone.
2
2 days max.
2 weeks? No, 2 weeks. Like, I don't know, because what's the weight of quarter of a watermelon? Like a kilo?
It depends on the size.
Yeah. Average. This is the fucking worst science ever. Like this is
average watermelon size. Hold on.
Do you know be quite funny? See if there was an apocalypse and me and you were the last people alive in the world. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Like we've got enough time to study. let's start. Let's get the science going.
Okay. 2.2 kilos is quarter of a pound.
Okay. So and is that roughly quarter of a watermelon?
Yeah. So quarter of a average
quarter of a
watermelon is 20 pounds. So,
Dave, I work in pounds, shillings, and pence. None of this futuristic weights, please. What's that in?
So it's 2.2 kilos is a quarter of a watermelon. So that would be
so an 80 kilo human that had the water content of a watermelon would take 40 afternoons to be eaten alive by 3 chickens.
Divided by 2, it's 36. So that's
say 40 days.
Yep.
Say 40 days. Give or take a couple of tough bits, the hair and the teeth.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, there you go. It'd be weird eating those eggs, though. You know the eggs they'd had after that. Would be weird. Yeah,
it'd be gross. So,
this If we thought this podcast was fucking bad earlier, it's gotten a whole lot worse. This podcast is for science.
Yeah. We did watermelon human science, and we seem to have resulted in the problem that 3 chickens could eat a submerged human in 36 days.
2 idiots from Australia have won a Nobel Prize for their.
I might submit that as a thesis. Hold on.
just like my thesis of you can't get DNA off a shite.
What?
Yeah, no, I'll explain that later.
No worries.
Okay. Right. So the majority of the Tibetan people and many Mongolians adhere to a specific type of Buddhism which teaches the transmigration of spirits. Now, for them, there's no need to preserve the body as it is now an empty vessel. So the birds may eat it or nature may cause it to decompose. Mm-hmm. So the function of the sky burial is to simply dispose of the remains in as generous way as possible, which is the origin of the practicing Tibetan name.
Yep.
So in much of Tibet, and again, I think it's Qinghai or Qinghai, I can't pronounce it. The ground is too hard and rocky to dig a grave, and due to the scarcity of fuel and timber, sky burials were typically more practical than the traditional Buddhist practice of cremation.
Or barbecue.
In the past, or barbecue, yes. Yep. Yes. What is it? What is it? Bob's barbecues and crematoriums. Your loss is our sauce. Your loss is our sauce. In the past, cremation was limited to high lamas and some other dignitaries. No, just to specify, I said lamas. It doesn't mean like animal lamas. It means like Dalai Lama and his men, like those guys. Monks. They're not just like monks. Yeah. A high lama would be like a really good monk. He's really good at it or something, isn't it?
This
is top notch. He's really good at being a monk. Like, God, do monks get internet? I don't know.
I'll send it to him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Anyway, I believe that's what it means. So, in the past, cremation was limited to high lamas and some other dignitaries, but modern technology and difficulties with sky burial have led to an increased use of cremation by commoners. Other nations which performed air burial were the Caucasus nations of the Georgians, the Abkhazians, and the Adegi people, in which they put the corpse in a hollow tree trunk.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go. Yeah, and we must get eaten alive by squirrels and shit.
Yeah,
bugs. So the Tibetan sky burials appear to have evolved from the ancient practices of defleshing corpses, which was discovered in archaeological finds in the region. Now, these practices most likely came out of practical considerations, again, as before, with it unable to dig holes, but they could also be related to the more ceremonial practices, similar to the suspected sky burial evidence found at the Gobekli Tepe, which was 11,500 years ago, and also at Stonehenge.
There you go.
Apparently most of Tibet is above the tree line, and the scarcity of timber makes cremation economically unfeasible. And additionally, the subsurface intimate is difficult since the active layer is no more than a few centimeters deep with solid rock or permafrost beneath the surface. So yeah, you kind of can't really dig a hole. The customs are first recorded in an indigenous 12th century Buddhist document, which is colloquially known as the Book of the Dead, or the Bardo Thadal. Tibetan Tantricism appears to have influenced the procedure as well. And the body is cut up according to instructions given by a lama or adept. And again, lama as in not the animal, but rather a monk. The Mongolians traditionally buried their dead, and sometimes with human or animal sacrifice for the wealthier chieftains. But the Chumed adopted sky burial following their conversion to Tibetan Buddhism under Altan Khan during the Ming Dynasty, and other banners subsequently converted under the Manchu Qing Dynasty as well. So it looks like people decided, this is a bit better than what we were doing before. It's like, yeah, fuck it. You tried digging a 6-foot hole in rock.
Fuck that. Birds can have them.
Yeah, pretty much. We just fucking let the birds eat them. Yeah, okay. So sky burial was initially treated as a primitive superstition and sanitation concern by the communist governments of both the PRC and Mongolia. The PRC,
People's Republic of China.
Something Republic of... there you go. Yeah. But both states closed many temples, and China banned the practice completely from the Cultural Revolution of the late 1960s until the 1980s. Now, during this period, sky burials were considered among the Four Olds, which was an umbrella term used by the communists to describe anti-proletarian customs, cultures, and ideas. As a result of these policies, many corpses would simply be buried or thrown in rivers. Oh, that's nice. Just throw it in the river. That's where people drink.
Yep.
And many family believe the souls of these people would never escape purgatory and would never become ghosts. The sky burial nonetheless continued to be practiced in rural areas and has even received official protection in recent years. However, the practice continues to diminish for a number of reasons, including restrictions on its practice near urban areas, again, diminishing numbers of birds, and finally, the Tibetan practice holds that the yak carrying the body to the carnal grounds should be set free, making the rite much more expensive than a service at a crematorium.
That would make a main street of bloody local town we're in Perth.
Well, remember the one that you covered of like they have that ceremony like once every 20 years because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
That would be similar.
Yeah,
it would be very similar.
God damn.
Well, at least the yak gets to set. I mean, that's pretty cool. He gets to go free.
This isn't sacrifice the yak. Like they do like 25 cows per person.
Was it the what? It was buffalo or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
specifically 23 buffalo or something like that.
Yep. To make it seem
cost
like
them a fortune.
They're like a couple of $100,000 just to knock off.
Yeah.
It's crazy. At least the yak gets the bugger off. But
That's true.
Yeah.
And the birds get a tasty meal.
Yeah, exactly right.
I genuinely like that's one of the most concerning things for me is the fact that there's not as many vultures. Like, why? There must be a reason. Either they're getting hunted or, that's a shame.
That is a shame.
It's a shame. Poor birdies. So for Tibetan Buddhists, sky burial and cremation are templates of instructional teaching on the impermanence of life. And sky burial is considered an act of generosity on the part of the deceased. And since the deceased and their surviving relatives are providing food to sustain living beings. Now, such generosity and compassion for all beings are important virtues in Buddhism. There you go.
Yeah, not bigger.
It's quite a cruisy religion, actually, Buddhism.
It's pretty
when
chill.
You research it. It's just live and let live, don't piss off animals.
Yeah. Don't crush an ant.
Don't crush an ant. Anyway, back to dead guys in the sky.
Yeah.
So although some observers have suggested that sky burial is also meant to unite the deceased person with the sky or a sacred realm, it does not seem consistent with the most of the knowledgeable commentary and the eyewitness reports, which indicate that the Tibetans believe that at this point, life has completely left the body and the body contains nothing more than simple flesh. Now, only people who directly know the deceased usually observe it when the excarnation happens at nighttime.
Nighttime.
Yes, nighttime. A traditional sky burial is performed in specific locations in Tibet and the surrounding areas, traditionally occupied by Tibetans. Now, the Drygung Monastery is one of the most 3 important sky burial sites. Now, the procedure takes place on a large flat rock used for that purpose. The carnal ground, or dirt tro, D-U-R-T-R-O, is always higher than its surroundings. It may be very simple, consisting only of the flat rock, or it may have more elaborate, incorporating temples and stupa, or something known as a chorten in Tibetan, which I believe is kind of a monastery type thing.
Yeah.
Now, relatives may remain nearby during the sky burial, possibly in a place where they cannot see it directly. And this source says that the sky burial usually takes place at dawn. So the full sky burial procedure is elaborate and expensive. Those who cannot afford it simply place their deceased on a high rock where the body decomposes or is eaten by birds and other animals. In 2010, a prominent Tibetan incarnate Lama, Metrul Tenzin Gyatso, apologies on pronunciation, visited the sky burial site near the Larung Gar Buddhist Institute in Sertar County, Sichuan, and was dismayed by its poor condition. Now, with the stated goal of restoring dignity to the dead and creating a better environment for the vultures, the Lama subsequently rebuilt and improved the platform where the bodies are cut up, adding many statues and other carved features around it, and constructed a large parking lot for the convenience of the visitors. Oh, that was good of him.
Yeah, and a coffee van.
Yeah, there's a coffee truck there. Yeah,
food stalls, everything. Block castle.
Sell little bits of flesh for the kids to throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I survived my first sky burial. Yep. T-shirts.
It's probably not. It's not someone I want to get a fridge magnet from, but we definitely get a bottle opener.
Yeah, for sure. Made out of
made out of a guy's butt.
Yeah.
Made out of a guy's butt.
Yeah.
Get your thigh knives. Get your knives made out of thigh bones.
Nothing goes to waste.
So there's a number of accounts of sky burials, and this again is straight from Wikipedia, so it's almost verbatim. But the following description is assembled from multiple accounts by observers from the US and Europe, and there are references at the end. So prior to the procedure, monks may chant a mantra around the body and burn juniper incense, although ceremonial activities often take place on the preceding day. Davros.
Yes.
Bit of pub quiz for you.
Go.
The juniper berry is most commonly used to make what spirit?
Gin. Oh, yeah.
Correct. Oh, he's good. He's good.
I know my booze.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't know it until I saw this. And then, yeah. Anyway, the work of disassembling the body may be done by a monk or more commonly by a, and again, pronunciation, Rogyapas, or Rogyapas, all one word. Translates loosely to body breakers.
Oh, that's a fucking sick name.
That's fucking... Okay, well, I guess you kind of be like an undertaker, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All the eyewitness accounts remarked on the fact that the body breakers did not perform their task with gravity or ceremony, but rather talked and laughed as during any other type of physical labor. There's a video that I flicked to Dave earlier on, and there's a common saying among the world that there is no dignity in death. When you watch this video, you'll see why.
Yeah,
probably relates back to the earlier belief that the body is merely a vessel and the soul has left. But there, where these guys are handling their bodies, there is absolutely no dignity whatsoever.
They're definitely making sure that soul has left their body for sure.
Yeah, we're not gonna put the links up because they probably get removed. However, you just have to search Sky Burial on YouTube, and the top 5 or 10 results are all you need to see.
Yeah.
Yes. So according to Buddhist teaching, this makes it easier for the soul of the deceased to move on from the uncertain plane between life and death and on to the next life. Some accounts refer to individuals who carry out sky burial rituals as a tokden, which is Tibetan. Almost, yeah. Which is Tibetan for sky burial master. Now, while a tokden has an important role in the burial rites, they're often people of low social status and sometimes receive payment from the families of the deceased. So that's maybe someone that's kind of decided, oh, well, I could be a bit more fucking not as mean about this, or maybe a bit more respectful about it. Now, for disassembling the body, according to most accounts, the vultures are given the whole body. Then, when only the bones remain, they're broken up with mallets and ground with sampa, which is barley flour, tea, and yak butter or milk, and is then given to the crows and hawks that have waited for the vultures to depart. Oh. In one account, the leading body breaker cut off the limbs and hacked the body to pieces, handing each part to his assistants, who then used rocks to pound the flesh and bones together to a pulp, which they mixed with the sampa before the vultures were summoned to eat. In some cases, a tokden will also use a butcher's tool to divide the body.
Or a knife.
This is not Gordon Ramsay's 30-minute meals.
No.
This is what is, yeah. So sometimes the internal organs were removed and processed separately, but they too were consumed by the birds. The hair is removed from the head and may simply be thrown away. At Drygung, it seems, at least some hair is kept in a room of the monastery.
The hair room.
The hair room, yes. This is where we keep the hair. None of the eyewitness accounts specify any particular type of knife that's used in a sky burial, and one source states that it is a ritual flaying knife or a trigu, a Sanskrit kartika. But another source expresses skepticism, noting that the trigu is considered a woman's tool, and the body breakers seem to be exclusively male.
Chauvinistic.
Yeah, a little bit. But here's the thing about the birds. So the vultures, or the species contributing to the ritual, are typically the griffin and Himalayan vultures. So in places where there are several sky burial offerings each day, the birds sometimes have to be coaxed to eat, which may be accomplished with a ritual dance. If a small number of vultures come down to eat, or if portions of the body are left over after the vultures fly away, or if the body is left completely untouched, it is considered to be a bad omen in the Buddhist beliefs. In these cases, according to Buddhist beliefs, there are negative implications for the individual and that of the individual's family, such as the individual being buried lived a bad life or accumulated bad karma throughout their lifetime and also throughout their past lives, thus predetermining them to a bad rebirth.
Oh.
In places where fewer bodies are offered, the vultures are more eager and sometimes have to be fended off with sticks during the initial preparations. Often there is a limit on how many corpses can be consumed at a certain burial site, prompting lamas to find different areas. And it is believed that if too many corpses are disposed in a certain burial site, ghosts may appear. There you go. So not only are the vultures an important aspect to celestial burial, but it's also to its habitat's ecology. They contribute to carcass removal and nutrient recycling, and as they are the scavengers of the land. Now, due to an alarming drop rate in their population in 1988, the law of the People's Republic of China on protection of wildlife added certain specific species of vultures into the rare or threatened categories of their national list of protected wild animals. Now, local Chinese governments surrounding sky burial locations have established regulations to avoid the disturbance of the vultures during these rituals, as well as not to allow individuals who have passed away due to infectious disease or toxic psychosis from receiving a sky burial in order to prevent compromising the health of the vultures.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go to Tibet and be buried to the birds, that's where you go.
Yeah, you could if you go to, even if you type in the Wikipedia, just the Wikipedia about sky burial, and just look at the pictures.
Oh, there's pictures. There's pictures on the Yeah. It's the one. I think it's the one just down by disassembling the body.
Mm-hmm.
The body being prepared for sky burial in Szechuan. Holy fuck! It's just
It's just an old
it's different.
Laying Snarker's face down, getting cut up by a body breaker.
And he's wearing high vis.
Yeah.
he's
preparing pulled pork.
He's got PPE on.
Yeah, exactly right. It's good.
I honestly don't remember the documentary that I watched, but it was not as like, as you said before, it's a different value, or not value, but a different way of, like, as soon as the person dies, the the spirit is gone and the body is merely a vessel. Whereas I guess my upbringing and belief would be not to deal with a body like this.
No. Oh, when you think about it, if you think about what happens in a normal mortuary procedure where they remove the blood and fill it with embalming fluid, it's no different. Like if you watch that or saw photos of that being happening.
Oh, it's pretty. It was very medical.
Yeah,
it was very medical looking. Whereas that's literally just a picture of a guy in a high vis jumper with a hat on, some fishing gloves, and he is cutting the bottom of a body that is got a rope around it that looks like it's been. It looks like a murder scene.
Yeah, it does.
This is an axe. I didn't even see the axe. Look at the axe bottom right of the screen.
Hold on. Yeah.
Sorry. Wow. Yeah. That's actually a really good picture.
Yeah, that explains it a lot. And that's a color. That's a recent picture. That's not.
Yeah, he's not been. I mean, he's been dead long enough. They got him up the hill.
Correct.
Wow.
Holy crap! And there's one thing we won't have a shortage of is dead bodies. So, plenty of food for the pigeons.
Yeah, but there you go. The sky burial. It is kind of fucked up again for us as Western people, but it's a tradition and a way of life for some others.
Yeah, I've learned a shit ton. As in from we've talked about it. I think we talked about it probably 8, 9, even 10 months ago. But you wanted to cover it, and I was like, as I said, I just thought it was someone left on top of a hill and away they went, and eventually they'll come back for bits, or even chopped up previously, which you could probably stomach a little bit. But when you read what actually happens to them, you're like, wow, it's not just left to their own devices; they're assisted on their way.
And it's kind of I think looking at those pictures are kind of. It looks a bit less respectful, to be fair. But again, the body's not viewed as sacred like we would. Well, again, like what we would consider.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we fucking go.
That's a pretty heavy episode, but I like
pretty fucking cute. Still a shame the bird populations are dying off.
Yeah. Save the vultures, people. Come on.
Yes. Alrighty. The fleshel.
Yes, the flesh.
The flesh special.
It was good, man. It was good.
That was good. Yeah, it was good to get a catch up. And Goose does send his apologies because he had to make IRL money. Because it's a late one we started tonight too. So we were like, oh, Goose might be able to come along, but he's still working. So
bastard.
That's okay. That red bastard. But no, it was so that was a little special of the flesh. Shall we say?
We'll try and make the next one not so 6 months away from the last one. So because I think
and also both, 3 of us.
Yeah, and also 3 of us. We obviously we had a lot of good feedback from the one with Jordan with the testicle special, and which obviously a lot of people got hold of us. As much as we like having a laugh, we also like bringing some real life to the situation. I think people actually appreciated that. Hearing it was pretty raw, to be honest with you. It was almost 2 hours worth of him talking. It was good. It's good. So
it's a very good episode. And if you haven't listened to it yet, but you're listening to the flesh special, go back. The testicle special is good. It's probably one of our top episodes, I reckon.
Yep,
it was probably one of the most it was probably one of my favorite ones to record as well, because there was no you listen to these episodes and we take the piss quite a lot, but there was no really forced taking the piss as we
No.
normally do.
No.
It was pretty hard.
Definitely. All right. Well,
Alrighty.
should we call that an evening?
Are we going to play games now?
I think we should go play games. Yep.
Yeah, let's play games. We're going to go play games now.
All right. We'll leave you guys to it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
talk to you soon.
We'll see you at the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I believe. Goodbye.
I
Yes.
believe.
Yes. Yes.
Bye.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's all, folks.